enough for my job as well. Shout out
We
to
need you
my
to come in,
job.
Doc.
Huh?
We need you to come in.
No, no, no. It's oh, somebody actually telling me oh, it's a parent. Okay. Oh, that's pretty nice. She wanted to tell my boss. It's from a parent to my boss saying that I helped get her kid's medication 5 days earlier than insurance will let them. So
Nice.
that's pretty lit. Congrats to you and your kid. All right, so hey guys, today on Let's Be Real, we are going to be talking about supporting versus enabling. And once again, it's your boy the Real Kid.
And Ragnarok Doom.
And in regards to supporting and enabling, we're talking more about basically when you look at your friend group, do you have people that genuinely support you? Do you have people that genuinely try to make you better? Da, 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 or do you have people that hype you up to do dumb shit? Like that's all it is. And sometimes they're both one and the same person. Sometimes they're completely different. Right? That's just how it goes. Um, Let me just full screen this. Boom. There you go. All right. So let's just break down the difference. My perspective on the difference, and then we can go into Jared's perspective on the difference, and then see how you can differentiate between the two. Um, my difference when it comes to supporting and enabling, right, is you when you are supportive of your friend, you're basically welcoming the growth of them, right? Anything that makes them better, right? And this is also subjective, but makes them a better person, makes them have a better life, makes them happy. That's what I feel a supporting friend is, right? A support system. That's what I feel like they do, right? These are the people that will oftentimes actually tell you no, right? Because a lot of people ain't used to hearing no. These are the people that hear you no. You know what I'm saying? And then enablers, in my opinion, are your yes men, right? Your yes men are gonna say yes to you no matter what because their whole thing is they want to have fun, right? They don't care what the consequences are as long as you want to or you're happy with whatever decision you're gonna make in the moment, right? I always think of enablers of in the moment, you know. But that's just my perspective. Go ahead, Jared.
Uh, I would agree. Like an enabler is one unhealthy. Like an enabler is like sugar. Like it tastes amazing and it's everything you want, but then that crack. You eventually, maybe not now, maybe not later, but eventually you're gonna crash and you're gonna crash hard as shit. And that crash might get you in trouble. That crash might get you in jail. That crash might get you killed. That's why you don't want an enabler.
Okay, okay.
Now, someone who is supportive, they want to see you grow. They want to see you do better. And sometimes they might tell you, yeah, that's a good idea. But other times, they might tell you no. Supporters are like vegetables. Sometimes they don't taste great, but you know what? They got those essential vitamins, those minerals, those nutrients that you need to grow to be big and strong.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. So what the
it's like
fuck?
you want to open a construction business. It's like, all right, cool, man. Get your permits, get the equipment you need, do your job. They're like, all right, yo. So I just built this porch. What do you think? It looks like shit. Now you could be like, hey, man, yeah, that's amazing. You keep doing what you're doing, bro. Yeah. Or you could be like, I'm gonna be real with you. It don't look that great. It's clearly you didn't follow the regulations. You didn't use good wood. Where your nails at?
You can't forget about the
You
nails.
need a supporter to. They're like I would say they're kind of like a guide. Like they give you feedback every now and then on what you're doing, like whether it's good or bad, so that way you know how to adjust. They're not just the like, hey, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, because then you just end up crashing and burning later on.
I like that. I like that. Crash and burn. Supporters are like vegetables, and, and
Enablers are
enablers
sugar.
like sugar. Okay, that man lactose intolerant or some shit. Oh shit, that's milk. Oh well. But yeah, no. We had a request to do this. Basically, somebody was trying to decide on how to look at their friend group and see who's actually there for them and who actually isn't. one of the biggest things that I point out is, of course, your supporters are going to be there when you need them, right? And then your enablers are going to be there when you want them, right? And of course, you can, we mostly differentiate want and need. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing for me is like, for example, say you're in a downtime in life, something around that. We all go through different things with our lives and everything, and your supportive friends are the friends that are going to look at any healthy way for you to get out of that slump, right? It's not just really about having fun, right? You can have fun, but say you just need somebody to just be over your house, or you just need somebody to watch a movie with, or even somebody to just make you a lunch or some shit, like something small, right? These are your
Yeah,
supporters. The supporters will go out of their way, right? Sacrifice some of their time to make sure you're good, but in a healthy way. A healthy way in regards to when you bounce back, there is no repercussions of your decisions from doing it the healthy way, right?
yeah,
Meanwhile, the enabler is somebody who's looking more of the easy way to fix things, right? They're looking for the now to fix things rather than later. These are the people, in my opinion, that if you, let's say you had a very bad year, right? Let's say you just had a very bad year, and their whole thing is, hey, let's go out and drink. Let's get drunk. All right, let's forget what's going on right now and just get drunk. That to me isn't a supporter, right? Again, I said you can have fun, but that to me isn't a supporter because they're not looking to fix your situation tomorrow or your next week or anything like that. They just want you to forget about it tonight, right? And you may regret it tomorrow, right? But they that's all they look for is they're looking for the easy way out to make sure your problems are gone only right then and there. Because also, what enablers is they want to have fun with you, right? So they're not giving up that personal time that they would just be like sacrificing for themselves to get you something. No, they're trying to benefit with you, right? I think supporters are more sacrifice. It may not be big sacrifice, like like oh, I can give you $500. I ain't talking about that. But they're the types that'll be like, hey, I need like $10. I get you 10. Right? Enablers are the type where, hey, I need like $10. Oh, where are we going? Like what are we going to do, right? Not what you going what are we going to do, right? Because that's how I always looked at them. And if you I don't even say if you're from the hood or nothing because we experience this everywhere we go. Um, every one of us knows people that love to fight people, right? Like they just love to fight people, right? And this is when I started to differentiate between enablers and supporters. Is enablers will, for example, say you have drama with like the local neighborhood person, right? You guys have beef. Your enablers would hype you up for that drama, right? Fuck that bitch, go fuck them up, all this other shit, right? Because they're trying to hype you up to do something stupid, right? But in the meantime, until you do that something stupid, it feel good, right? It feel good until you get your ass beat, you get arrested, you get stabbed, you get put in jail, you get dead, like just a whole bunch of shit. Or even worse is you end up making more enemies than you started off with simply because you beat up the wrong person, right? So
true.
those people are enablers to me. And in my friend group, I had an enabler who, and I had a friend that nobody could tell him shit. Like he'll fuck you up. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I was the one, and my boy Artie was the one that always be like, yo, I don't think they worth it. I don't think they worth your time. Da 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 da. Because we know he could fuck him up. But we're like, yo, chill, right? We're like, we're not trying to get you. We're not trying to see you in trouble. Da 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 da. But then he also had friends where it's like, nah, fuck him. Go fuck him up. Go steal his bitch. Like that type of shit, right? You know what I mean? And that's when I feel like low key. That's when you kind of gotta know from that point on who is actually there for you for your best interest, or who's there for you just to have fun. That's just it.
Yeah. Actually, a good example. I started thinking about it. everybody knows Winnie the Pooh, right? They have the whole group of friends, right?
Mm.
And everyone knows who Eeyore is. Eeyore, he's low energy,
Yep.
generally comes off as a depressed character.
Yep.
Now, what Eeyore doesn't need is an enabler, as you saw. Like,
Mm.
doesn't need someone, hey, come on, let's go party, let's go do this, let's go do that, let's go have some fun. It's like, nah, everyone knows how Eeyore is. And what they end up being is supporters for him. It's like, you know, he's probably going to send out, but they always invite him out to do stuff.
Yep.
And sometimes they just like, hey, yo, we're here if you need us. And like, they'll just sit there with him, do nothing. That's cool. And they support him in that way. He doesn't need the labor. And that way, they're acting as a supporter and helping him in their own way.
Oh,
And
yeah.
as you see, like throughout the show, he appreciates that. Like another good example would be it's like you're with your friend, y'all walking past a ranch, right? There's a horse there. You're like, hey, yo, I'm gonna go slap that horse on the ass. And they're gonna be like, ah, yeah, go do it, bro. That'd be funny as hell. Go do that. But a supporter's gonna be like, hey, yo, bro, you know a horse can crack your skull with one kick, right? They're gonna stop you from doing dumb shit.
That's all it is. That's that's legit all it is. Is that I like I said, I think supporters will they won't stop you from having fun. Don't get me wrong. Like that whole drinking, going out to drink thing, they definitely would go out to drink with you, but then drinks will be on them. They will take you home. They'll make sure you're good for the night. That kind of thing, right? They're not going out to drink just to drink. Um, but meanwhile, like an enabler will just hype you up to drink. Right. These are the people. Hell, even in college, you see. Oh, in college, you see a whole bunch of them too. Oh my God! Hype you up to sleep with the wrong person. Hype you up to start drama with this person. Hype you up to skip class. Hype you up to do dumb shit. And then here's your supporters who's with you in the library at 4 a.m. in the morning for finals. Like, those are the people that you need to have around you. But again, I do think though that you should have an enabler, at least one. I do think that it's more like it's more like those angels, your conscience, right?
Yeah.
It's more like having those angels on your shoulder. You have the clearly bad one, right, and you got the good one. The only difference is that clearly bad one just don't know shit, right? That clearly bad one's just like, yeah, do it, while the good one will tell you yes or no, right? They're not gonna tell you yes all the time, like yes or no, 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 no. It's just that one knows when it's yes, and one knows when it's no. The other just says yes, right? And you will see that oftentimes in friend groups. You would see hell. I know this for a fact for some of you guys, right? Me included. You had a dude, or you had a friend, or a female, or anything like that. You had a friend that was one way, and say you guys don't talk for a bit, for a bit. Let's go on about years. Let's say years. All right. Come to find out, they're in a whole situation that you did not ever expect them to be, and you knew them once upon a time. Right. More than likely, those people were being enabled and pushed to go a certain path the entire time. Right. Gang violence, for example. When you're in a gang, right? Nobody when they're recruiting these kids in the gang, they ain't talking about, bro, you may end up dead. You made this and that. No, they're telling you about brotherhood. They're talking to you about how they ride out for each other. They ain't talking about how your mom could end up dead. They ain't talking about how your grandma could be walking with you and now she's dead. They ain't talking about that shit, right? Because they're not supporting you. They're enabling you. They want you to join their shit, right? Because it benefits them. And it benefits them to try to convince you that you're going to benefit from them as well, right? So what ends up happening is a quiet kid in school is now listed as, like, people make up fake Facebook names when they're in gangs and shit. Freaking OC Magic Johnson killer AIDS virus. Like it's crazy. It's just wild to have people do that, and half the time it's because their friends enabled them. Shit, in college, I think college is the real eye opener for some of these kids because their friends aren't around them anymore. And if they can't find people like minded like their friends are, right? life hits you hard as shit in college, right? Because now when you was hearing yes, I should do this, now you getting hit with the no's, and you're like, why? Why can't I do that? Like, why can't I act like this? Why can't I do this and that? Because clearly that's the bad decision. But when I was home, we used to do. I don't give a shit. That was when you was home. Home ain't here. And all them kids you ran around with and shit, trying to tell you yes all the time, it ain't me. I, I'm just telling you, you just gotta differentiate the two. You gotta know who's an enabler in your group and who's a supporter.
Yeah, actually, now like I think about it, like my closest friends, like I don't think we have any enablers. Like,
That's right.
which
That's
is which
valid.
is actually interesting. It's like,
That's valid.
because like Albert, whenever we're talking about stuff like you included, like no one is just always like, yeah, you're right. So it's like if someone's like, hey man, the Earth's flat, everyone's just like, nah, yeah, you're right. Nah, it's like there are so many different perspectives that everyone just comes in at and chimes in at that is such a diverse group that you can always get a different angle with our group. And it's really nice because like even with political stuff, all the time we talk about it, like me, you, Kevin, everybody. It's
Yeah,
like
we all
it's never
different.
just a simple like it's never yes or no. It never
We
is.
all different. Like it's
It is always
Jesus.
a long talk. Everyone's talking about different angles from it.
Yeah.
And it is nice. And you do need that in your life. You don't just want yes men. You don't just always want like minded people because that you never learn, you don't grow. You're never gonna get really far in life like that.
No doubt. Fucking. Actually, I can see why people can't differentiate the two because sometimes a supporter may be viewed as a hater instead, right? Because you're so used to hearing yes from other people that when somebody tells you no, you're just thinking, nah, they just hating, right? That's where we kind of headed to in a generation is when we hear something that we don't like about ourselves, we just label that message that the person came from as a hater, right? If you I tell this to my boys all the time, right? Some of them make music. If their music fire, I say their music fire. But if that shit trash, I say that shit trash. If that shit dumb deaf dookie, that shit dumb deaf dookie. Like, but that's I'm a supporter. I download their music regardless, right? I download their music regardless. I play it sometimes on my car, that kind of shit. It just comes down to the fact that if I keep telling them, yeah, this music's good, and they're wondering why they can't get anywhere, right, in regards to playing and things like that, it's because I ain't telling you the truth. Right? I'm just telling you what you want to hear. You get me? So you're not working on your craft anymore because you think it's perfect. Right? The same thing goes for work. Same thing goes for school. If a teacher doesn't come to you and corrects you, you're gonna think everything's fine until you see that grade. Right? Teacher don't pull you aside and say, listen, you got like 7 answers wrong out of 7. You got to change. And then if the teacher don't do that to you, you're just gonna think, oh, I'm breezing by this class. The teacher never talked to me. Like I'm good, right? I'm getting all the answers right in class. Right? I'm raising my hand. I'm saying 2 plus 2 is fish. They saying yeah, it is. Like I'm good, right? Then you fail the class, and you ask the teacher why did I fail the class? It's because you were wrong on everything, right? Well, some teachers are like this. It's like, but why didn't you tell me? It's like it's not my job to tell you, right? It's my job to teach you. It's not my job to tell you how you're doing, right? And I'll be honest, actually, it's not the teacher's job to tell you how you're doing. It's just their job to teach you. Only teachers that care tell you how you're doing in almost every other, class, right? Shit, my teachers, the one thing I always heard from my teachers, Duncan, you missed like 3 classes. I know. I know, right? I actually miss classes on purpose majority of the time, but don't copy my example because I was the guy that had to stay up freaking 20-page essays in one day. Like that was me, right? I started that shit at 3 p.m., finished 3 a.m., laid down and watched some Law and Order SVU. That was legit my nights, right? And because I did the work, I would go to class. Right, and ask anybody. I go to class in my PJs, bro. Right, I'm walking to class, bro. It's cold. I got my book, not my books book. Right, it's the one notebook I bring to every class because books are expensive. Right, Walk in, got my slippers on, bare feet. Everybody see my crusty toes. This right there. Mm. All right, guys, toss in your essays. There you go. I'm sleep for the rest of the day. Right? You don't ever want to have that stress. You don't ever want to have that stress. Finish your assignments on time. All right? Because man, but that's what I mean though. And here's the thing. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's because I was never told I was doing it wrong. Because the end result was for all those grades, at least a 90 or above every time. So in my this is enabling, but not really with an external force, right? This is enabling because I see there's nothing wrong in what I'm doing, right? Even though I'm tired, the end result is still the same as if I took weeks, right? But instead, I could have saved so much time and probably had more free time to do it. Stefan says, and I quote, "A supportive friend would have told you Criminal Minds was better." Listen, 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 listen. Criminal Minds, in my opinion, is better. Issue is though, Law and Order SVU shit is realistic. It's realistic. Alright? Like, the only thing I hate about Law and Order SVU is because every fucking episode ends on a damn cliffhanger every time. Like, yo, I fucking hate that shit too, bro. Like, bro, it'd be like, oh, we got the guy. This is his daughter. And then they just pan in, they face up in the camera. Right? They do the and then all you see is created by Dick Wolf. Fuck you, Dick Wolf, because I want to know what he gonna do with the daughter now. But I can't do that. Oh, you may think maybe on next episode. No, it's a whole new story. It's a whole new story. God damn. But yeah, no, that's another form of enabling. Is if you're not corrected, you continue to go as if nothing's wrong. Right? That's all I'm saying is that like with your friends especially is you can identify who's an enabler or not. You literally can. Like it's actually pretty easy. It's not one of those things where it's like in relationships where it's like, oh, I gotta see this red flag. No, 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 no. You could literally choose by yourself if this is a good or bad decision, and then ask your friend what you should do. You don't even let them know that you've been thinking about it or not like that. You just, what should I do? This is the situation. And depending on their response and their idea and their understanding to that response, you can figure out if they're an enabler or a supportive friend, right? If they could break down the pros and cons, if they could break down the pros and cons, they're probably just a supportive friend who's just wrong. Right? That's the thing. That's the thing. I support you. Here's the pros and cons. I can still be wrong though, right? Get back with your ex. Pros and cons, right? Now most people's like, get back with your ex. The fuck? That's a wrong answer. But then I help you break it down. And it turns out you only broke up with your ex because y'all were both in middle school and y'all ain't know how to balance shit, right? So then you get back with your ex in high school. It turns out y'all now fucking married with a kid 3 years, 4 years later, and you're happy, right? Because I helped you weigh the pros and cons, right? But then again, if I'm an enabler, I'm not looking at the pros and cons. I'm just looking at like, would I do it? Nah, you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? That's the whole reason. That's all. I'm gonna hype you up to do some shit that I probably would do. Actually, the one of the biggest part, Jared, one of the biggest parts is I think enablers actually enforce you to do shit that they wouldn't do. Actually,
Hmm.
right? They want to test out to see how it ends with you before they do shit what they do, right? Like that's how it is. Like again, you go fight that person, right? Oh yeah, you go fuck them up, right? In their head, I wouldn't fuck them up. I mean, I would like to, but I'm gonna see you do it and see if maybe I could do it. So you answer my own question. Maybe that happens. I don't know, right? Like crash test dummy friends. Thank you, Stefan. You basically a crash test dummy friend, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Jerry.
I mean, actually, like going back to the CHC, one thing I can say about the science department, yo, the teachers let you know when you fucking up, bro. Like I had to redo Gen Chem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Dr. Heron pulling me aside, like it was like our third test, and he's like, "Yo, we gotta talk." He's like, "We gotta talk." So I'm like, "Oh shit." He's like, "You're not." He's like, "I'll be honest with you." He's like, "You're probably not gonna pass this class," and I'm like, "Oh!" Like, I was almost in tears, bro. I was so upset. Well, he sat me down and like we just talked, and he's like, "I don't know how you're studying, but like." it's not working. You can't study like this for chemistry. I was like, all right, I got a D in the class. You can't move on with the D, so I had to repeat the class.
Yeah.
Studied, redid it. Yo, I got a B plus next year. Next time I took that shit,
Yep.
changed up how I studied, and he's like, this is what I'm talking about. These are good grades. You're doing a great job. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
thank you for that, man.
Yep.
Because like he could have been one of those lazy teachers that like just bullshits around. It's like, all right, he got a C minus. Get out of my class, whatever. I don't care. He could have. He's like, nah, he cares. He wants you to pass and understand the material. Like that's what you need in education, in all points of your life, really. Besides education, every aspect, you need someone who will do that for you.
Yep. Everybody needs somebody in regards to that. And before you think about those who people who try to isolate themselves and say, I don't gotta do that. Like I know I don't even need support. Like that I do all myself. Not one successful person in this world has become successful without support. Not a single one. All the people that said they did it themselves had a teacher, a coach, a pastor, a family member, a cousins, a auntie, stepsister, all that shit. They had a dog. Fuck it. They had something or someone still support them. So them all by myself stories are bullshit, right? Unless you was born a millionaire, invested your millionaire dollars, right? With no education, nobody to even say you that's a good idea, not a damn thing, and then you became a billionaire off of it, right? You can't say shit like that. You can't say you did it by yourself
I don't think that counts though. If you born in the millions, you already got that head
because your
start.
parents got you. Yeah, I
Because
mean,
what was it? What was it? Was it Kylie Jenner who like she
well,
had
she became a
her
billionaire,
yeah, she's a billionaire. She's like, I'm self-made. I'm like, no, you're not. What the fuck?
self-made. She wasn't no fucking self-made,
Rich as fuck
right?
already.
You
You
can't be
got name
self-made.
representation. So if you want to start a business, you're damn right. It's most likely going to take off with your name alone.
You know who's self-made? You know who's self-made? If you're homeless and you buy a scratch ticket and you become a millionaire from that shit.
That's self-made, right?
That's self-made right there. Right? That's self-made. Ain't nobody do shit other than you. You scrapped all the pennies, right? You scrapped all the pennies. Gotta get my $2 scratch ticket. You scratch the ticket, $1 million. Bam, you good, right? But if you are somebody who grew up in a family, and even if you got isolated from that family, right? Even your family trash, they got you to a point. Then after that family was gone, you had somebody else, right? You had a friend, you had a cousin, you had an auntie, you had something. A stranger even. Hell, it could have been a stranger that told you you have a good day, and you saw them every single day saying you have a good day, right? Even they are a support system, right? You never become successful by yourself. Not a single person in this entire history of this world. Anybody that told you they have is a damn liar. Stefan says, and I quote, "Nah, I gave that homeless person $1 off for a scratch ticket. That's our money." Stefan, other than Stefan, I think Stefan's self-made. You damn
So
fool.
so if it's a homeless dude who finds $1 on the ground and then wins the lottery and then makes $1 billion tech company, then they self-made.
Yeah, but see, that $1 billion tech company needs support, investors,
True.
right? They need somebody to back up their idea because they can't do it by themselves. You see what I'm talking about? Right? Even the rich needed a rich person to say, "I got you." Right? That's all it is. That's all it is. Even the rich need the rich to be rich. Like, bro, like no bullshit. Even your job opportunity, somebody was looking out for you. Right? When the boss hired you, they was like, I think I like this person. They looked out. Unless you ran your business by yourself as a kid, and you took an axe that you had to make out of some shit with stone, and then that axe themselves cut down some trees, and that trees you built the house, and in that house you built your own solar panel based off the internet or some shit, right? Everything was provided to you by somebody else, so you're not self made, right? You can say you're self motivated, right? You're self motivated, right? You motivated yourself to do this shit. Nobody told you to do it. You told yourself to do it. That's self motivated. It ain't self made though. Kylie fucking Jenner.
But theoretically, that would mean no one is self-made.
No, not a single person. Not a single person. Even drug dealers who become big in the rap game, not self made. Right? Your supplier gave you some money, right?
Hmm.
your customers gave you some money, right? 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 Them cops ain't arrest your ass when they knew it was you that was selling the shit, right? You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers be out here selling drugs and think the cops don't know. They just don't care. Like that's all it be. You selling shit on your corner, there's a cop looking at you in your face like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They just don't care because then that means paperwork. You know what I mean? So, all I'm saying is learn to pick to see who supports you and who doesn't, and who enables you and who doesn't. That's all I'm saying. Because end of the day, an enabler will set you up for failure in the future. A decision now will set you up for failure in the future. You don't know what that decision may be. Shit, I used to steal fucking Kit Kat bars from Walgreens. Right? No bullshit. I used to be a ninja too. What? I used to come out with the long sleeve. You know, you got the long sleeve shirts and stuff, right? I used to pick up the bar, right? It'll be like this. It'll be like this is the candy bar, right? This is what I'll be doing. I'll be like, this is a nice candy, and it goes right into my sleeve, right? And I'll take like 3, 4 of them, right? And then just to not be suspicious, I buy one. Like, but that's because again, I had somebody that enabled me to do it. Like, bro, just take it. It's just candy. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm a black dude. I'm a black kid at that time. You tell me I'm stealing 4 candy bars from Walgreens, I'm in jail. I'm in jail for theft. I got a record for theft. Now, when I get a job, they can't even leave me around shit because of theft. Like, that shit would have affected me my entire life. And now, there is self responsibility because I have to make that decision. But this is where influence is key. Is that people think your decision is completely 100% based off you. It's not. Right? Everything around you factors into your decision. If there was no crime ever, right? If the police can arrest you for shit, right? If you had a one get out of jail free, everything swept under the rug, you even get to take what you took, and it's just forget. If everybody had that card once, you know how much shit would happen in this world, bro. Right? I will go straight to the bank, steal that shit, hit them with my card, and be on my way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the whole thing. Is consequences do have a big point in your decision. You know what I'm saying? But that was on me, and I stopped. Eventually, I got to the point where I was just like, you know what, this ain't right. Like I'm probably getting other people in trouble. I gotta stop. So I stopped. Right? Never stole anything again. Actually, no. I did still prior to that. I stole a kid's watch, and I actually almost got my fingers chopped off by my grand. Yeah, Caribbean folks. Like she scared. He got the cutlass. You know the cutlass. He got the cutlass. Almost hit my fingers, bro. I was scarred as I never stole a damn thing again after that shit, bro. Never stole a damn thing again. And he missed on purpose, of course, because he ain't gonna cut off my fingers. But but that shit was like, and that shit hit the table, made the indentation, and I was like,
You look at that in your eye, was like, the next time,
yeah.
I'm gonna cut off your finger.
This man said, I'm gonna chop off your finger. And then he sent me to my room, bro. And I'm crying. I'm like, oh my God, I almost died, right? Motherfucker go come in my room like I'm crying. You know that cry nap too, where you just and then you go to sleep. You wake up. It's like 7 p.m. All you hear is, I got some pizza. You want some pizza? I ain't gonna forget you. Just try to chop off my fingers, but yeah, I want some pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like, but again, that's because again I was enabled, right? Enabled was the influence, but I made that decision myself. Now, this is why I say taking consideration also when your friends do dumb shit, is they probably had a friend in their ear saying you should do it. Right, that's a strong possibility because I've seen it so many times. College was actually the biggest time I seen it because you can even ask my old roommates. Right, Kevin's one of them. is people would come to my room almost every day asking what should they do about this decision. Right? And not to you females, not to you females, but there was a reason why when they had an all female friend group, I was the male friend, and I had to sit in and and hear their perspective on what they should do about certain situations. I'm sitting here like I could see why females need male friends because this is some crazy shit, right? I understood that. I didn't even want my exes, but I was one of those people. I didn't like back when I was young. I didn't want my exes to have male best friends. I was like, you need a, I'm your male best friend, right? Then I sit on those conversations with my female friends, and it's like, damn, y'all need some male best friends, cause your female friends is gonna set y'all up for failure, dog. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the same vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, I think males also need female best friends. Like, honestly, you need to understand the other perspective of the other sex and gender. But yeah, that's just it for me when it comes to this topic. Is just that just make sure you differentiate the two before you proceed to go on explaining your situations in life with them.
Yo, there's this one time my mom supported me, right? So we was in the grocery store and I saw this toy car I really liked. And I was like, yo, can I get this? She was like, nah. And I got mad. And she's like, go put it back. I was like, cool. I ain't put that shit back. I hid that joint under my shirt and walked out of the store. No one noticed. We got outside. My brother was like, oh, you kept it? And of course my mom saw it and she beat my ass. And then made me go put that shit back. And then yesterday, yo, it was hilarious. It was so weird. So I went shopping at Giant, right?
Mm.
And I got a candy bar too. So I was putting all my stuff on the counter, and it really slipped my mind. I wasn't thinking about it. Bought all my stuff, and I was walking out the store, walked up to my car because I put the bag down on top of it, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't pay for this. And I'm in my car. I'm like, Giant doesn't have security. They don't have scanners. I could just go walk in my car right now and just drive away, and no one will give a fuck. And I'm like, you know what? Mom gonna beat my ass if she find out I stole a
That's
candy
also
bar.
good.
So yo, I really walked back inside and put that joke, scanned that shirt and bought it. And I was like, yo, that's crazy how you think about that stuff later on in life. Whenever someone did something for you or beat your ass or helped you in some way, it comes back.
Yeah, it does. It does. Stefan says, and I quote: "A lot of female friends stop being friends after being roommates." Valid. I think that's valid. I think if you look at males, uh, we become like brothers if we're roommates at least one time. Like it's really like an unspoken brotherhood. It's like that's my brother. Like anytime somebody talk to you about some shit, that ain't what they do. I know them. I live with them. That's my brother.
Like they
What you
would
what
never.
you talking about? Like, but for females, yeah, I can see that. It's only because like I think, and this is opinionated. It's kind of off topic, but it's opinionated. Um, Females get to see that people don't practice what they preach, right? So all that advice they probably gave you while you guys are friends, you become roommates, right? And you see they do the complete opposite, right? You think they probably took you for a ride basically because they're not doing what they told you to do, right? I think that's one of the biggest things is hypocritical actions that happen during the whole situation. Hell, I think that was probably the most I heard the word hypocrite in my life was when I had to keep going to females' rooms and hearing their stories. Is I think hypocrite was the most said word on Sesame Street at that point. Like, god damn. You know what I'm saying? But no, that's valid. That's valid. Now again, I'm not saying all females because I know some females they became a sisterhood after they became roommates. Shoot, some of them tried to live together for 4 years straight, 5 years straight. You know what I mean? Masters together. Now your dog is named after my brother. That kind of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's a given. Like you do have those type of females. Don't get me wrong. Right? This is something common that I saw during my time in college. But I had a small college, which means I was more in tune to seeing what was going on around us. Meanwhile, if you go to a huge college like Penn, like UPenn and shit like that, you ain't gonna know what the fuck's going on. You gonna know the person next to you, the room next to you, and the room after that. You ain't gonna know the person down the hallway. You ain't gonna know the person on the second floor. You ain't gonna know none of them motherfuckers. But in the small college like we did, you knew the person down the street. You knew the dog down. You knew the family that sometimes passed by in a Chevy, some shit like you just knew every. Hell, you even knew the local store owners around the way. You saw the mansion. You knew the dog's name. The dog name was Scruffy or some shit. Like you know what I mean? Like all I'm saying is look out for your best interest. Not what will only make you feel good, but what will make you feel good tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. Right? Live for today, think for tomorrow. All I'm saying.
What's what that dude saying now? Wonder Wing. It's good, but it could be better. Except his shit was all
It's good.
twisted and fucked up. But
It's good.
yeah, like when you make a decision, it's like think about the long term. What are the repercussions of my actions? Or even when your friend asks you questions, like sit down and be like, all right, it's like, well, if you do this now, there's this, but then later down the line, could be this. So don't enable your friends. Always take their questions, like take it to heart and really think about it before you give them an answer, because it could very well, maybe even be a life and death question that you don't even realize.
No doubt. No doubt. But with that one, guys, that is the end of this one. Episode 7, actually. But this one's a little bit shorter, only because there's not much research into it. There's not. It's just perspective based on this one, just to like explain what's going on, and explain our own experiences with this thing and everything like that. So, um, that's the end of this one today. I will be streaming in probably about 9:10, around 9:10. Get a little breather. Um, make sure you watch out for your friends. Make sure they're actually your friends. And if they are actually your friends, tell them about the podcast. Tell them about the channel. You know, um, we greatly appreciate you guys for always tuning in. We are getting more and more consistent with the viewage, so really appreciate you guys for that. And as always, it's your boy, the real kid,
Ragnarok and Dame.
and we are out of here.